Hello everyone, I'm Pacific and welcome back to another video of YouTube tips. This time I'm going to be talking about how hard it is to make a thumbnail. Now, to start, if you don't know what a thumbnail is, it's basically the little image on the front of your video when someone searches stuff up, all like the little pictures and the titles of the video. The thumbnail is the picture, and lots of people think that you need to be a master of Photoshop to make a thumbnail. And objectively, that's actually wrong. And the reason why is a thumbnail is simply an uploaded image to the video, right? So, for instance, I can take a picture of the video and upload it, and that's the thumbnail. But when we think of thumbnails, we think of custom thumbnails, and those are not hard to make at all. You can do Microsoft Paint as a starter. As a starter, I would highly suggest you use Microsoft Paint, because it's very easy to operate, very easy to understand, and the tools you need, like text and the ability to place images, are there and they're easy to understand. After Microsoft Paint, you will then begin to realize that it cannot do everything and your thumbnails need to be of higher quality. That's when you would upgrade to something like Photoshop. Now, Photoshop is a tool that I took a full college credit for, 5 credits worth in a quarter, and I think that was the coolest thing I could have ever done, because it's the kind of tool where you need to know what all the individual tools do to then be able to do what you want. You can't just, it's not as simple as place this, place that, and put a filter on it, because there's different ways to manipulate the filters, or different ways to manipulate the pictures, different ways to manipulate text, little things you're gonna find that no Photoshop tutorial tells you about that somehow exist in Photoshop. And it's very important that you watch, I would highly suggest this, you watch basic Photoshop tutorials first, so you understand what each of the tools do and how to use each of the tools. And then after that, you figure out, okay, you look up specifically how to put a realistic shadow on something within an image, or how to make text look 3D. Stuff like that, that's stuff you want to look up after you look up and figure out what all the basic tools, or most of the basic tools of Photoshop do and how they work. Now, time-wise, I would say a complicated thing in Photoshop, something beyond just putting text on the screen, maybe some filters and cutting a couple things out, moving them around. In the beginning, those are probably going to take you an hour plus to make. But with me, it took about making 5 of those kinds of super custom thumbnails where I could boil it down to about 30 minutes. So it's going to take you a lot of time in the beginning. Your first week or two is probably going to be a lot of just trying to get from point A to B, very simple things, moving an object and blurring it and manipulating it. That's going to take you a while in the beginning. But later on, it's going to come naturally. It's like speaking English or learning a new language. Photoshop is more, if you understand how languages work, Photoshop would be very easy to understand. Because after you get the flow of it, you're going to start getting better and better at it, and little buttons are going to start to make sense even though they didn't before, and you're generally just going to know how to manipulate Photoshop and how to make amazing custom thumbnails. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching or listening. If you enjoyed, tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, because I do YouTube tips every single Wednesday. I'm Pacific. See you guys in the next episode of whatever I decide to make.